and they don't.
Okay.
So Ed, I need to get some music like da 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 da. Ed's corner review, la 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 la. Dun. Okay, there you go. But you got to do this in like a Hulk Hogan. Well, let me tell you something, brother, about this
I'm not going to do
review.
that.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to do that. All right, so let's get to the official DMG Gaming Podcast Wukong
All
review.
right. You're trying to
Okay,
come up.
Grant.
I can see the look on your face. You're trying to come up with a name as well.
Yeah, I kind of was. Okay, so right off the bat, so when you start this game, you're getting introduced. I don't want to go too much into it, but you're getting introduced with an awesome opening cinematic.
Okay.
You get introduced to the current at that time period of the game, the Wukong, the Monkey King. Okay, and
Hold on.
he's
Let me ask you
fighting
this.
against. Go ahead.
I'm not going to interrupt you. I promise no more.
Oh
No,
yeah,
no,
we know how you are, Grant.
no. Because what I want to know is what was your review for this game before you played it? Like just going off it. Like what did you expect it to be? Like what were you thinking it would have
I
been?
was just thinking it's gonna be another Souls game, but maybe like just
Like a 7 out of
faster
10,
combat, maybe
like
because
a 7 out of 10, something like that.
I mean I knew it was gonna be good. I didn't give it a review score ahead of time. I just knew it
Okay.
was gonna be probably a good Souls game, right?
Yeah.
Just a good one, just a faster paced Souls game. But I'm debating if we even can call this like a Souls like game.
Okay.
I
Well,
mean, you could
I just want
probably do that.
the reason why I was asking you this is because I wanted you to tell people what you had going into the game, and
I thought
then
it was gonna be a good game, just a
okay,
good, like,
okay, look, it's just
baseline good game,
gotcha.
just
Okay,
from going off trailers and what we have seen so far
gotcha.
without
Because
playing
when
any
you give your
thing.
review at the end,
Well,
then it'll
I
just
wish
show.
I could give my review, but you keep talking.
But when you give your review at the end, that was good. When you give your review at the end, you can see how it drastically changed your opinion because you know what you did. You actually played the fucking game. Now
Yeah,
go
it sure
ahead.
did. Okay, so look, can I get my review done?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so anyway, the beginning of the game, you get introduced to this epic scene. I was on a roll there, Grant, and now you've messed me up. Okay, so you're playing the Monkey King, like full powered Monkey King, and you're
Hmm.
fighting these gods in heaven. All these gods are about to descend on your mountain, and the music, everything going together with this was great. And you're like in the clouds fighting this guy, and you see all these like huge giants, these other gods and stuff, and you fight this battle with this other guy. Anyway, you fight him and you kind of get beat, like something happens as you cross this threshold near your mountain, and you get slammed into a mountain by this guy. And basically the Monkey King has disappeared. Basically he's gone. And then it fast forwards, I guess, a few centuries, and you play this younger monkey like character that is goes on a adventure, as maybe being the chosen one, like other monkeys have before him. And you basically kind of find out he's trying to find out who he is, and you're gaining these powers as you play, like his journey, basically meeting all these these characters are unbelievable, dude. Like some of the characters they made up with, like their design, their dialogue and stuff like that. So you play and you have basically chapters in a game trying to find these 5 relics. And the purpose is, you play the chapter, and at the end of the chapter you find a relic that the Monkey King lost when he was defeated. And then you find then every between every chapter they play this awesome cutscene, like artsy with dialogue cutscene
I saw
explaining a
that.
story. Like, the first one is about greed and stuff like that. And then you look about who you defeated going up to that point, that first chapter, and it kind of explains what you were doing, what you were going against, the backstory of some of these main bad guys and stuff like that. And there's one that was really funny. Like this guy had a dream about this fox, about turning this
I saw
snow
that one.
fox or Arctic fox turning into a woman. And he has this dream of her, like him marrying her, having kids, and then she goes crazy and kills all his children and
She
everything,
turned
and
back
him.
into the wolf or the snow or
Yeah,
the
she
fox.
basically would turn back, and then he woke up, and then he looked at the injured wolf next to him, and he straight up killed it and put a pelt around his neck. It's messed up,
I ain't gonna lie, I kind of felt bad, dude. I was like, damn. Like,
dude. It was. I actually laughed. I know it's bad, but I laughed when I saw when
I
they
felt.
cut to that. I was like, "Oh my god, what
I know.
just happened?"
I was like, oh man, I can't believe he actually did that. That's sad. I felt bad for the damn fox.
But then you go in chapter 2, you go to this desert area. Like you go from jungle to desert to snow to like a woodland spooky place and stuff. but then like it's the desert is cool. You get to hear this anthem from this guy like playing the guitar.
I could
Like
tell you're
this,
trying to be
I don't
spoiler
know what it's
free.
called in China, like that guitar. I really am not sure what it's called, but the music's great. Like every single engagement in that game, the music just makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This the only downside of the game was in chapter 1, 2, 3. You were in the snow area. That was a cool. The snow area is great. And then, but when you get to this temple area, it kind of like it's very open and it's running from point A to point B. That was the only sluggish or sluggish point of part of the game
Mhm.
to me. It was sluggish right there, and I was like, oh, they need to add a little bit more stuff because you're traveling a long way for doing nothing. You know what I mean? Besides like fighting enemies if you choose to. But that was the only sluggish part of the game. But then you continue on. You meet all these other fantastic creatures and characters from the game or from the Journey to the West novel, which most of them are in there. But I would like to talk about one character, Zubaji. He's like your pig friend in the game, like your companion that you
Is that
meet
like
later
me?
after beating a bad guy who's a female, and you meet him. Okay, so there's a female, like beginning of chapter 3. All right. Anyway, but the voice actor, I forget the guy's name that does Zubaji, the English voice actor. Spot on job, dude. Like this dude did amazing voice dialogue. One of the better voice dialogues I've seen in a game in a while. The way he brought that character to life, because he's just a short, tiny little pig guy, like a warthog face and everything like that. But he's like funny and always grumpy and always talking shit to you and stuff like that through your journeys. So he did a fantastic job for that. But
It's the
anyway,
best you've
with
ever
that,
heard.
one of the best,
It's
one of the
not, I
best.
mean, better than Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Die, monster. You remember that?
Oh, I don't know about that. That was a really good one.
What is a man?
Yeah. But so without spoiling the rest of the game, the ending is fantastic. The ending is really good. And then all the other, every chapter again, you have a animation scene, learning something, like learning about greed, about human emotions or stuff like that. Between every chapter, you have that, and the ending is just straight fire, dude. Ending is phenomenal. One of the best endings I've ever had in a video game, and accomplishment of getting through that game. Because some of those bosses, dude, they're rough. Like I can think of some really hard bosses in Elden Ring, and I can compare them to a lot of them in there.
Yeah.
If I was going to compare it to a Souls game, but see, it's not as punishing as a Souls game because you don't lose your levels or your like souls. You know what I mean? Like in
Oh
most,
God.
you don't lose those. You keep your experience points and everything like that. Okay, so there's no punishment for dying. You just go back to your last save point or shrine, what they call them, and you just continue on. And any major enemies you've defeated or like big time enemies you defeated, they're gone. Besides just your random monsters that you
Yeah.
have to re-kill. Way faster pace than a Souls game. So I can't set. So this is why I'm kind of going at why it's kind of you can call it a Souls game maybe and put it in that category, but it's not. It's not a Souls game because first off, it has a fantastic story. Like you can say Elden Ring does have a great story once you figure it out by reading the equipment, by piecing everything together and building a story. But this one gives you a story from start point A to the ending. It gives you a story throughout the entire game and explains things to you. So, being that said, this game destroyed all AAA gaming studios this year. It annihilated them. It made them look really stupid, honestly. An Eastern developer with one other game called Game Science. They have one other game that didn't do anything really. Didn't make a lot of money or anything like that. I don't think it did. But no one knew about it. No one even knew who these guys were. But bam, they put out a game, and this game is my game of the year right now. I give it a
Okay.
10 out of 10.
I was about to ask you. A 10 out of 10.
It is a
Damn.
10 out of 10. No politics added, no ideology, no, oh, we were getting the wokesters. No, this is a fantastic game. And anyone that reviews this game, you need to play the game, beat it, and then give your review if you are going to review it.
Yeah.
And tell me if you give it a 3 out of 5 after beating it with
And you better
everything
have
you
a good and then
experienced.
have a good argument why.
Have a good argument. Very good. They need to have a very good argument, honestly.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think if this game would have came out earlier, it would get game of the year? You think it's too late, closer to the end of the year? You know what I mean? Like
It's not too late.
well, I mean, I'm saying like Final Fantasy VII had like a huge, like a 4 month head start.
Final
You know what I
Fantasy
mean?
VII also had a huge marketing campaign,
Yeah, that's true. That
and
is
they had
true.
everyone and everybody just rooting for them. You know what I mean? Like every journalistic Wukong had issues at the beginning due to hit pieces
Yeah,
and stuff like that. They had a lot of stuff they had to overcome, and the gaming community helped bring them over that.
yeah,
Which is another great thing about this game. This is a very big gaming community push to ensure the success of this game. But the thing is, Game Science, they brought it themselves.
yeah, oh yeah.
They brought it themselves by delivering this game at just a phenomenal quality, phenomenal game. And I played on my laptop at medium settings and never had an issue. I know some people are saying they have issues on Wukong. I've never had a crash or anything on Wukong. I don't have a top of the line PC. I just have a laptop that has a decent graphics card. Um,
I watched you stream some, and one of the things I mentioned to you, I'm a big music guy when it comes to like games,
the music
and
was fantastic.
that's what I said to you. I was like, man, this music's like it just sound it is just beautiful. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Um, so I mean, like I haven't played it, but just listening to it, man, it sounded phenomenal.
it was great. It was a great game. Great storytelling. Great combat. Challenging bosses. Rewarding ending. You know what I mean?
Do you know the bad thing about being this company though? In a sense, not necessarily. I mean, it's not too bad, but I guess it could be. Is when it's time to make a new game, the pressure is going to be heavy. You
Oh
know what I
yeah.
mean? Like everybody's going to expect this. You know what I mean?
And what it got me really pissed off, like when people were talking about the 2.4 million Steam concurrent peak users, you know what I mean, for the
Hmm.
game. They're like, oh well, most of that's Chinese.
So
Okay, are they not players? Are they not
yeah, are
gamers?
they not people? Are they not? Are you being racist? Are they not real people?
But only 250,000 were United States. You know,
Well, guess what? That was 250,000 more than Concord.
250,000. Oh, is that not is that not good?
I
I
know.
mean, take away the 2.5 or 2.4 million peak and just put 250,000. That's still crazy.
That's more than Dustborn and Concord combined.
Yeah. I mean, the secret of the Visions of Mana demo got more players than Dustborn and
God,
Concord
man.
put together. What are you talking about? Uh, so anyway, yeah, that's my review. 10 out of 10. It is game of the year for me so far. So far. All right. Still
What?
got Space Marines 2 coming.
Oh, that's what I'm about to ask you. What do you think could come out
Two different
and
types of games though, but
yeah, it
still, it's
is.
and when you wrap up everything together, I beat Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Um, I played the Elden Ring DLC, and I played this game. I played many others. Well, I haven't played Spider-Man 2. Uh, but everything put together, Wukong is the game of the year for me as of right now.